I'm totally trying to. Okay. Have you ever spoken out against anything that, well, I should say, have you ever spoken out against something that was an injustice? I know I have. I mean, as big as my mouth is, I definitely like to stick up for people. But I haven't. I can't say that I have. But if you have, how do you think you would have felt, or how have you felt? You've spoken out against something that you know was you were in the right, and you needed to defend yourself. How about, have you ever gone before the United States Senate Committee or bloodthirsty reporters just peering down at you? Well, I can't share the pain that this woman had. That's exactly what she did. She had to speak before the United States Senate Committee, and the press was holding on to every word. And they had judged her. Quite a few people had judged her. She was an incredibly bold woman, and she gave an opening statement that changed her life and the lives of many women forever. Who is she? Her name is Anita Hill. And I'm not sure if you all know who she is, because I know I have some younger folk in the audience, but she graduated from Yale Law School with academic honors in 1980. She is now a law professor. Also, she teaches social policy and women's study at Brandeis University. She's a public speaker and an author. The opening statement that she gave has been listed as one of U.S. history top 100 speeches in the 20th century. And it was against sexual harassment from Judge Clarence Thomas in 1991. Now, the importance of public speaking in her career, which she didn't realize she had one at this point, but she was accusing bringing to the public awareness of a sexual harassment experience that she had for going on 2 years at a workplace. And it was unequal representation in a political sphere. So at that point, now the civil rights sort of covered sexual harassment, but not to this degree. So if you would complain about being sexually harassed on the job, it was pretty hush-hush back there. You know, oh, she's just making it up. And in this particular case, I felt that she was just out to hang this man. Who was this man? Why all of a sudden were these accusations coming out? Well, what happened was the Democratic Party had found out that she had filed a complaint, but she was really keeping it on the down low, more or less. They didn't want him appointed as Supreme Court judge because he was taking he was taking Justice Thurgood Marshall's place, which was the first African American who had been appointed to the Supreme Court. Well, Justice Marshall had fought hard and helped African Americans advance with civil rights and things like that. President Bush felt that if he appointed another black judge, that he would be, politically correct. However, Judge Thomas didn't share the views of affirmative actions and the things that Thurgood Marshall had. So the Democratic Party was trying to find someone that would sort of demoralize his character, and they brought her up. She felt that she was just testifying. She didn't realize that they were really pretty much using her. Well, what happened was she had been handicapped for 5 years with fear of, for a couple of years, of losing her job. She was actually hospitalized for 5 days with acute pain in her stomach because of the stress. And because of the stress that was going on with the job, she did leave. However, her first goal was not to make anyone look bad, but she needed to bring this out in public. What happened because of that, she empowered women. And her speech it wasn't even a speech, like I said, it was an opening statement, but it was so powerful that in 1993, 170 women ran for Congress. Up until that point, not many women had run. 4 new women were elected to the U.S. Senate, which was a 68% increase. Her appearance before the committee placed sexual harassment on the national agenda. And because of that, 10,522 people filed sexual harassment complaints the following year. So it was 50% more than just the previous year. She had become a forerunner for women that could say, wait a minute, I have been wrong. So she felt defeated. The reporters just ran her through the cold. No one believed her. She was speaking to 92% men on the committee, and he still got his appointment. So what the Democrats wanted in the beginning, they may not have won their victory, but she in return had won. Her delivery and organization of her life-giving speech awakened a sleeping giant. Women had been suffering at that point with sexual harassment for some time, but because she was able to vocalize it, she changed America. She spoke with confidence and ease, and her opening statement has been, like I said, listed as the top American speeches in the 20th century. So now, I encourage you. It's time to speak out on injustice. Don't let fear silence your words that may change the course of history. Just as Professor Anita Hill boldly spoke, so can you.